Get ready to witness the most heartwarming, surprising bonds in the animal kingdom. From lions befriending antelopes to dogs adopting kittens, these incredible stories prove that love and family know no species. Join us on an unforgettable journey of compassion and connection across nature's boundaries. In the dense forests of India, a heartwarming and improbable story unfolded that would astonish wildlife lovers around the world. Here, a lioness did the unthinkable. She adopted a leopard cub as her own. Now, lions and leopards aren't exactly known for getting along. They're fierce competitors in the wild, often fighting for territory and prey. But in a rare twist of nature, this lioness found herself drawn to a tiny, helpless leopard cub who had been orphaned. Alone and vulnerable, the little leopard should have been seen as just another competitor, yet something in this lioness stirred. She took the cub under her wing, nursing him, grooming him, and even cuddling him alongside her own cubs. Wildlife researchers were astounded. They'd never seen such behavior before, and they watched in awe as the lioness protected her new cub from dangers of the jungle. This was more than simple instinct. It was a powerful, nurturing love that defied all the rules of the animal kingdom. After the devastating 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean, a baby hippo named Owen found himself separated from his family and stranded along the coast of Kenya, scared and alone. Rescuers discovered the young hippo struggling to survive on his own and decided to bring him to Haller Park, an animal sanctuary in Kenya, in the hope that he might recover. It was there that Owen met Mzee, a 130-year-old Aldabra giant tortoise. Despite their vast differences, one being a young, energetic hippo and the other an old, slow-moving tortoise, an incredible bond formed between them. Owen, in need of comfort and guidance, began to follow Mzee wherever he went, treating him like a surrogate parent. Mzee, initially hesitant, soon took on a nurturing role, showing Owen how to navigate his new surroundings. The two became inseparable, with Mzee offering companionship and protection, and Owen finding solace in his unlikely friend. It was a touching reminder that in times of trauma and loss, bonds can form in the most unexpected ways, transcending species. Now let's move from the wild African plains to a cozy home, where an unlikely family has formed, a German shepherd and her adopted kittens. This is Bella, a gentle German shepherd who's taken on a role that surprised everyone around her. When these three tiny kittens, Whiskers, Patches and Snowball, were found abandoned, Bella seemed to sense their vulnerability instantly. Although she's a big, powerful dog, Bella's heart is as soft as the rug they're lying on. As soon as the kittens arrived, Bella stepped in as their guardian, lying close to them, nudging them with her nose and standing over them protectively, as if she knew they needed her warmth and comfort. More dogs and kittens. Next up is another heartwarming story about a dog and kittens. In this story, a construction worker found an abandoned kitten at a work site, with no mother cat in sight. The kitten was tiny and too young to be alone, so the worker brought her home. They were worried about introducing her to their excitable Pomeranian, who had never been around a kitten. Surprisingly, the dog fell in love with her instantly. From that first moment, he became her protector and constant companion, following her everywhere, sleeping beside her, and even getting anxious if they were separated. The family had originally planned to send the kitten to a shelter after she was old enough, but seeing the inseparable bond between the two, they decided to keep her. Now, years later, the dog and cat are still best friends, playing, napping, and even grooming each other. The family jokes that the dog has truly adopted the kitten and wouldn't have it any other way. Pig and tiger cubs. And now let's travel to a unique setting, a farm where an unlikely family is thriving. In a quiet corner of a sanctuary, a mother pig has taken on a rather unusual role, adopting two tiny tiger cubs. These tiger cubs, abandoned shortly after birth, faced an uncertain future. But then came this gentle pig, who, with her own litter of piglets, seemed to understand the cubs' need for warmth, nourishment, and comfort. Against all odds, she accepted them into her family, treating them as if they were her own. The cubs were allowed to nurse alongside the piglets, finding sustenance and the motherly care they desperately needed. Day by day, the pig watched over both her piglets and the little tigers, embodying a kindness that went beyond instinct. In her gentle embrace, the tiger cubs found a home, reminding us once again that family can form in the most unexpected places. This pig became a mother not only to her own kind but to a pair of cubs destined to be wild. It's a beautiful testament to the universal bond of nurturing, one that knows no boundaries. Next, we have a reverse situation. Let's dive into a truly remarkable story from Sriracha Tiger Zoo in Thailand, where a tigress named Sai Mai did something that left everyone in awe. Sai Mai, a fierce and powerful predator by nature, took on an unlikely family, piglets dressed in little tiger-striped coats. Sai Mai had previously given birth to cubs of her own, but when zookeepers introduced a group of piglets, her maternal instincts took over in an extraordinary way. Rather than seeing these tiny creatures as prey, Sai Mai embraced them as her own. The sight of this mighty tigress cuddling and caring for these small piglets was nothing short of enchanting. She would gently nudge them, lick them, and even allow them to snuggle up close as if they were her own cubs. To keep the bond strong, the piglets were given little outfits with stripes, but it seemed Sai Mai didn't need much convincing. Her heart had already decided they were family. The tigress showed a tenderness that was as surprising as it was heartwarming, proving once again that the need to nurture can transcend any boundary. Sheep and elephant. And now, let's journey to South Africa, where a story of unlikely friendship blossomed between an orphaned elephant named Themba and his gentle companion, a sheep named Albert. Themba, a baby elephant, lost his mother at a very young age, leaving him alone and vulnerable in the wild. When he was brought to the Shamwari Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, caretakers knew he needed more than just food and shelter. He needed companionship, a sense of family. That's when Albert, a calm and unassuming sheep, entered the picture. At first the idea seemed unusual, even risky. Would a young, energetic elephant even accept a sheep as a friend? But soon, Themba and Albert formed a bond that left everyone stunned. Albert became much more than a companion. He became a stabilizing presence in Themba's life. The young elephant would follow Albert everywhere, as if he'd found a sense of belonging with his woolly friend. Albert, for his part, seemed to enjoy the attention and didn't mind his giant buddy's playful nudges. They would graze together, sleep side by side, and explore their surroundings as if they were inseparable siblings. Through Albert's quiet, steadfast companionship, Themba began to heal from the loss of his mother. Their relationship became an inspiring symbol of resilience and adaptability, teaching us that sometimes family can come from the most unexpected places. Now, let's uncover a story that shows friendship can flourish even between creatures as different as night and day. This is the story of Torque, a lovable dog, and his unlikely friend, a tiny owl named Shrek. Torque and Shrek were brought together in the United Kingdom under unusual circumstances. Shrek, the owl, had been separated from her mother far too soon and was in need of warmth, protection and care. Enter Torque, a caring and gentle dog with a heart as big as his paws. Torque's owner decided to introduce him to Shrek, hoping that the dog's calm nature might help soothe the young owl, and what happened next was nothing short of magical. Torque seemed to understand the owl's vulnerability immediately. Instead of acting surprised or intimidated by Shrek's presence, he embraced her, allowing the little owl to perch on his back and even nuzzle up to him. Shrek in turn seemed to feel safe with Torque, forming an instant bond with her furry protector. Day by day, Torque and Shrek became inseparable companions. They'd wander around together, with Shrek perched proudly on Torque's back, as if she were the captain of her own gentle giant. Their bond was a heartwarming mix of trust and loyalty. Torque was always there to offer warmth and companionship to his tiny feathered friend, while Shrek provided a dose of playful mischief and gentle affection. Together, they made an unusual but deeply touching duo, showing that sometimes friendship defies all logic. Our next story is similar and takes us to Germany, where yet another extraordinary friendship blossomed between a dog and a bird, capturing hearts around the world. Meet Tanya, a small spirited owl, and her loyal friend Ingo, a protective Belgian Malinois. Like Torque and Shrek, this unlikely duo found solace and companionship in each other's presence. When Tanya was introduced to Ingo, no one knew what to expect, but the bond they formed was almost instant. Ingo, known for his gentle and steadfast nature, took Tanya under his wing, quite literally. The two could often be found sitting close, with Tanya nestled against Ingo's warm fur or perched proudly on his head. Ingo's watchful eyes always stayed alert, ready to protect his little friend from any harm. Tanya in turn seemed completely at ease, enjoying the warmth and security that Ingo provided. Together they shared moments of peaceful rest and playful interaction, embodying a companionship that seemed beyond words. Their beautiful friendship reminds us once again of the universal language of trust and loyalty, proving that true bonds can form in the most unexpected pairs. From the bond between a powerful dog and a delicate owl, we move to yet another touching story of unexpected motherhood. This time it's not a traditional pet taking on a new role, but rather a farmyard hen named Mabel, who surprised everyone when she adopted a litter of puppies. Mabel's story began when she stumbled upon a litter of puppies left without their mother. Despite being of a completely different species, Mabel's maternal instincts kicked in. She positioned herself protectively over the puppies, providing them warmth and security, just as she would her own chicks. Day by day, Mabel became more than just a companion. She became their protector, lying beside them, keeping them warm, and even spreading her wings around them like a cozy blanket. The puppies quickly bonded with Mabel, snuggling into her feathers and finding comfort in her soft clucking sounds. In Mabel's care, these puppies found the nurturing and love they needed, while Mabel herself showed the world that the desire to protect and nurture knows no bounds. This unlikely family became a testament to the power of instinct and affection, a reminder that love can bring together even the most unexpected of mothers and babies. Now, let's take a look at another unlikely family on the farm, where a mother hen named Clara has found herself caring for an adopted duckling. One spring day, Clara came across a lonely duckling, abandoned and without a family. Despite their differences, her maternal instincts took over, and she welcomed him as her own. The little duckling quickly bonded with Clara, following her everywhere, learning the ways of the farm under her watchful eye. Clara became his protector and guide, treating him just like her other chicks. There are more similar stories. In another charming twist on the farmyard, let me introduce you to Hilda, a dedicated hen who took on an unexpected role as mother to a group of ducklings. Hilda had been sitting on a nest for weeks, patiently waiting for her eggs to hatch. But when the day finally came, out popped not chicks, but tiny ducklings. Unfazed, Hilda immediately went into full mother mode, clucking softly to keep them close and guiding them around the farm with all the tenderness of a true mother hen. Though her little ones had webbed feet and a knack for finding puddles, Hilda embraced her new role, leading her ducklings with pride. She would even stand by the water's edge as they splashed around, clucking encouragement. In Hilda's eyes, these ducklings were her family, a testament to the boundless nature of motherly love. And here we have another adorable story of an unexpected adoption, this time between a group of kittens and a tiny orphaned squirrel who found himself in need of a family. When this little squirrel was found alone, too young to survive on his own, he was gently placed among a litter of newborn kittens. At first, no one knew if the kittens would accept him, but within moments the squirrel nestled in, cozying up to his new brothers and sisters. The kittens, without hesitation, snuggled around him, sharing their warmth and even their mother's care. Day by day, the kittens and their adopted squirrel sibling grew closer. They would play, sleep, and explore together, forming a bond as strong as any family. This little squirrel, who might have otherwise been alone, found a home and siblings in the most unexpected of places. Now, let's meet Della, a farm cat with a heart as warm as her soft, fur-lined paws. Della's story is one of unexpected motherhood, as she welcomed a rather unusual set of babies under her care, 3 tiny ducklings. It all began when Della's owners found 3 abandoned ducklings on their farm, with no mother in sight. Concerned for their survival, they decided to introduce the tiny, vulnerable ducklings to Della, hoping her nurturing instincts might kick in, and to everyone's amazement they did. Della quickly took on the role of mother, gently herding the ducklings under her protection. Just as she would her own kittens, she groomed them, kept them warm, and watched over them as if they were her very own. The ducklings too seemed to recognize Della as their protector, waddling after her around the farm and snuggling up against her fur. They'd follow her wherever she went, and Della would patiently lead them, keeping a close eye on her unusual brood. The sight of a cat mothering a group of fluffy ducklings became a heartwarming spectacle, drawing smiles from everyone who saw them. From Della's gentle care on the farm, we move to another heartwarming tale of unlikely family, this time between a rescued fawn named Pippen and her devoted protector, a Great Dane named Kate. Pippin's story began when she was found alone in the wild, her mother nowhere to be seen. When she was brought home to a family in Canada, they worried how their Great Dane, Kate, would react to the little fawn. But instead of fear or aggression, Kate showed nothing but love and gentleness. From the moment they met, Kate took on the role of protector and friend, watching over Pippin like she was her own. Pippin seemed to find comfort in Kate's presence, following her everywhere, leaning against her for warmth, and even mimicking her calm behavior. Kate would nuzzle Pippin softly, reassuring her and keeping her safe. Over time, the two became inseparable, wandering the fields together, playing in the grass and resting side by side as if they were family. Though their sizes and backgrounds couldn't be more different, Kate and Pippin formed a bond as deep as any mother and child. Even as Pippin grew older and returned to the wild, she would come back to visit Kate as if she knew that her mom was waiting for her. From the fields of Canada to the lush sanctuary of Thailand, our next story of unlikely friendship introduces us to Dudu, a playful chimpanzee, and a young tiger cub named Aorn. Just like Kate and Pippen, Dudu and Aorn formed a bond that seemed to defy nature itself. Aorn was only 2 months old when he was introduced to Dudu at a wildlife park in Thailand. Having been separated from his mother, Aorn was in need of comfort and companionship, and Dudu, with his gentle nature and nurturing instincts, was more than happy to step in. From the moment they met, Dudu took on the role of caregiver, holding Aorn close, feeding him from a bottle, and even cradling him like a true parent. The two quickly became inseparable. Aorn would follow Dudu around, finding security in his chimpanzee friend's embrace. Dudu seemed to understand Aorn's vulnerability, treating him with a tenderness that went beyond simple curiosity. He'd groom the little cub, carry him on his back, and make sure Aorn was always safe and cared for. From the tender care of Dudu the chimp, we move to another touching story of compassion and motherhood at an animal sanctuary, this time with a remarkable chimpanzee named Anjanna and her beloved lion cubs. Anjanna lives at a wildlife preserve in South Carolina, where she has become known for her loving nature and motherly instincts. When 2 lion cubs were separated from their mother due to a natural disaster, Anjanna stepped right in. Without hesitation, she took on the role of surrogate mother, showering the cubs with the warmth and affection they needed to feel secure. Anjanna's care went far beyond just playing with the cubs. She would feed them, groom them, and even guide them as they explored their surroundings, much like a true mother would. The cubs quickly grew attached to her, finding in Anjanna a sense of safety and love. She'd carry them on her back, cuddle them close, and ensure they were never alone. Her bond with these little lions became something extraordinary, a testament to the instinctive kindness animals can show. Anjanna's story is a beautiful example of how, in the animal kingdom, family is defined not by species, but by the love and care shared between hearts. From the loving embrace of Anjanna the chimpanzee and her lion cubs, we journey to the wild plains of Kenya, where one of the most extraordinary stories of compassion unfolded. This is the story of Kamunyak, a lioness whose name means the Blessed One in Swahili, and her remarkable relationship with an oryx calf, a creature that, under normal circumstances, would be considered prey. Kamunyak's story began when she encountered a young, orphaned oryx calf wandering alone. To the astonishment of everyone who observed her, Kamunyak didn't pounce or attack. Instead, her motherly instincts took over, and she began to care for the calf. For 2 whole weeks, Kamunyak protected the oryx, gently nudging it along as they moved through the reserve, keeping it close to her side as if it were her own cub. During this time, Kamunyak put her own needs on hold. She didn't hunt or eat, remaining focused solely on the calf's safety. She fiercely defended it from other predators, standing guard day and night. Witnesses were captivated by this unusual pair, watching in awe as Kamunyak gently guided the calf, her eyes full of a tenderness that seemed to transcend her natural instincts. Sadly, the story did not have a fairy tale ending. Eventually, the calf was taken by another predator when Kamunyak momentarily turned away, yet Kamunyak's actions left an indelible mark on those who witnessed them. Her story became legendary, a beautiful reminder of compassion in the animal kingdom, even among the most unlikely of relationships. But let's not talk about sad things. Now it would be better for us to dive deep into the chilly waters of Canada's St. Lawrence River, where an extraordinary tale of acceptance unfolded. This is the story of a lost young narwhal who found an unlikely family among a pod of beluga whales. Narwhals and beluga whales typically live very different lives. Narwhals are known for their long spiraled tusks and inhabit the deeper, colder Arctic waters, while beluga whales are highly social creatures that roam together in large pods closer to shore. But this young narwhal, separated from his own kind, was discovered swimming alongside a pod of beluga whales. The scientists who observed him were fascinated, wondering if he would be accepted by these new companions. To everyone's surprise, the beluga whales welcomed the narwhal as one of their own. He mimicked their behavior, learned their social cues, and soon, he was moving seamlessly within the pod. The beluga whales seemed to embrace him without hesitation, swimming in unison, even playing and socializing with him. It was as if they recognized that this outsider needed a family, and they were willing to open their circle to him. Over time, the narwhal became a natural part of the beluga pod, adapting to their social structure and ways of communication. His story became a symbol of acceptance, showing us that sometimes the need for companionship and belonging transcends all boundaries, even those between species. The beluga's acceptance of the young narwhal reminds us that, in the animal kingdom, compassion and inclusion can thrive, creating families in the most unexpected ways. And finally, we return to the wild heart of Africa, where one of the most unforgettable acts of compassion unfolded under the watchful eyes of the savannah. This is the story of Legadema, a young leopard in Botswana's Okavango Delta, and a baby baboon who crossed her path. Legadema was just a 2-year-old leopard still learning the ways of the wild. One evening she made her first successful hunt, bringing down an adult baboon. But as she looked closer, she discovered something unexpected. A tiny, helpless baboon clinging to its mother's fur, too young to survive on its own. In that moment, something in Legadema shifted. Instead of leaving the infant, she gently picked it up in her mouth and carried it to safety. For hours, Legadema stayed close to the infant, protecting it from other predators and keeping it warm. She lay beside the baby baboon, even nuzzling it with the tenderness of a mother. This fierce hunter transformed into a caregiver, defying every instinct to offer comfort and shelter. As night fell, Legadema continued to watch over the little one, cradling it gently in her paws, showing a side of herself that no one expected. Though the baby did not survive the cold night, Legadema's actions left an indelible mark on those who witnessed it. Her story became a symbol of the mysterious, compassionate depths within the animal kingdom, a reminder that even the most instinct-driven creatures are capable of empathy. That's about it. Write in the comments which story seemed the most unusual to you. For more useful information, watch other videos.